All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Friday evening. Another edition of Knicks Postgame Live presented by BetUS, the official sports book, KnicksFanTV. Knicks head to Beantown as a consolation prize for getting smoked in the in-season tournament quarterfinals by the Milwaukee Bucks. But the Boston Celtics also were coming off of a loss, and they were keen to avenge themselves with the return of the unicorn Kristaps Porzingis, and that they would do by smacking the Knicks up from pillar to post. Derek White still going bananas on this Knicks team, and all in all, just a bum night by the Knicks, man. No defense whatsoever, and just could not get a stop. And Boston rolls, man, steamrolls the Knicks. 133 to 123. Let's talk about it. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Another edition of KFTV Postgame Live. CP the franchise. Alex Rotaro's here. Salute, salute, salute. All right. Where do we start?
Where do we start? You want to talk about this, huh?
started the show late. Not sure why the show was set for 10:15. It should have been set for 10:30. And then, we always start early if we need to. But didn't realize that. So that was my fault. Show should definitely not have been set for 10:15. Knicks, Al, coming off a tough loss against the Bucks. I didn't see this one for them. I just didn't think that they were going to get up for this one. Boston at the top of the East. Tough opponent. Kristaps comes in. What is the first thing he do? What is the first thing he does? He gets a putback, lay-in, easy bucket, and then the next thing, he does what he does best to the Knicks, which is expose him in the pick and pop. Mitchell Robinson in trouble early, and things would just cascade from there, man. Derek White was an absolute two-way menace. He was busting JB's ass the entire game. Knicks could not get any stops, leaving three-point shooters wide open. Rotation's not crisp. Not running guys off the three-point line, not applying any pressure. I mean, Clyde talked about it all night. No pressure being applied on this Boston team until the final 2 minutes of the game. What are you guys really expecting to accomplish here? And it just felt like even the smallest of leads was insurmountable. It was just one of those nights. It was absolutely one of those nights. Drew Holiday chipped in. He was a defensive menace in the third quarter. It got really ugly for the Knicks in the third. And from a Randall standpoint, it's the tale of two Randalls. It's what he usually gives you, right? He had a brilliant game against the Bucks, but the Celtics, much better defense. I thought the Celtics, give them credit. I thought they did a good job of disguising their help defense and made them think a lot more tonight, right? Against the Bucks, you saw quick decisions, quick move, straight turn up into the paint, attack the basket, and make a move from there. Against the Celtics, got a little bit sluggish in the mud. 2 on the ball. Made things a little bit tougher. 6 turnovers for Julius. Tough one. So a tough one for Julius and Jalen. Thought RJ had a good game. But overall, they just weren't there tonight, man. 133, 123. Your thoughts?
There's a few things I want to talk about. One, it comes down to when you play this team. The Knicks and the Celtics always play a tight game, CP. And the first thing I always have to talk about is the turnovers. I was on SNY today with Brandon London.
Yeah, shout out. I got Brandon.
Shout out to Brandon. And we were discussing, we're previewing this game, and he asked me, what do the Knicks have to do tonight? The shooting has been on point. Even tonight, it was on point. The thing that it comes down between these two teams, man, is turnovers. And when you play the Celtics, especially this Celtics team, this is one of the best starting 5 in the NBA. When you look at the advanced stats, you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot have too many turnovers when you play this team.
Yeah.
As you saw towards the end of the second quarter, beginning of the third, you have these boneheaded turnovers, and then you're just giving the Celtics a runway, especially in the third quarter. The third quarter is when they started to really open up and take that commanding lead, and you just can't have turnovers against this team, man. They just thrive off of your mistakes. And the Knicks, that's what they were successful last season. They limited turnovers. They were able to play essentially almost scotch-free basketball. You can't do that. They're not doing it as great as a job as they did last season, but you can't do that, especially against the Celtics team. Yeah. Next thing, you talk about watching this team toying with them. It was not necessarily the quick decision-making, but what they did tonight, CP, is that they even on offense, knew how to move the ball and find the weak spot in their defense.
Yeah.
Right. The Knicks love to protect the paint. The Knicks will try to double somebody if Tatum's out there or Brown's out there. And you kept seeing Al Horford open. You kept seeing somebody else. You saw Derek White open. All these guys were open for three, and they were putting up quick shots. It wasn't necessarily the same ball movement that we saw against the Bucks, where they're just whipping the ball all around the court, but it was precision. They're like, okay, we're going to draw it over here. We're going to get the double team, and then we're going to kick it all the way back around to the other side and find Derek White. He's going to be open all the time, man.
Yeah.
All the time. And then you want to talk about just defensively, yes, Celtics thrive off the turnovers. Defense tonight, I mean, shout out to Fred Cass for tweeting this out, and he's 100% right. When you put Drew Holiday on a big, it looks like a mismatch, but it's not a mismatch.
Yeah,
it's a way for the Celtics to lull you in to making a mistake, and then because of that, what seems like a mismatch, everyone else is tightly guarded because you have the wingspan, the height to make all the other passing lanes smaller. All those passing windows are smaller, and they took advantage of that time after time after time again, man. This team, look, you just see the talent disparity. You see the talent disparity, especially when Brunson and Randall are not fully there, right? Like they did their part. Like if you had the rest of the guys show up, it could have been a closer game. But when they're not like the most efficient as they can be, it is a slug fest especially between the Celtics and the Bucks. They're just not there, man. Like when you watch these games, they're just not there, especially offensively, to keep up. And defensively, for teams that can shoot the three ball well, protecting the paint is not the right decision in this case. I mean, I don't know, CB. Maybe it's just me playing a lot of pickup, and it's like, two's worth more than the three's worth more than the two, right? It's like I don't know why that concept doesn't exist for what we see today. It's just mind-boggling, CP. It's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Look, yes, you can say yes, they play two of the best offenses in the East, but the execution still has to be better, right? You still have to get out and contest shots. You can't be giving these guys second chance opportunities to get threes. Can't be leaving guys wide open on the weak side. I mean, wide open. I mean, sometimes it just felt like they were playing on one half of the court. You can't do that. You just can't do that because you're not good enough. I don't care what the numbers say, what the efficiency numbers say. Sometimes those are good, but those don't tell the full story. You know what I mean? Like I've been saying this before the season even started. Their defense has to set the tone every single night. Their offense can be good sometimes. It can be. When Jalen is cooking and Julius is cooking and they're keeping their turnovers low and they're getting their second chance opportunities, things can look great. But when you don't have that, you've got to get stops because you can't hang with the better offensive teams in the league. You can't hang in a shootout. Most nights. Sometimes it'll be your night. It's a make-or-miss league in the NBA. Everybody can have good nights where they're dropping 130 points. Any team can do that. But on most nights, you can't keep up that way. And that's why in this game, like sometimes, they're down by 6 single digits, and I'm just looking unenthused, uninspired, because it's just like they can't stop anything. So what does it matter? It really did not matter what type of lead the Celtics had because the Knicks had no shot in this game. The way they were playing defense. And keep it a B, bro. It's got to start at the point of attack. Brunson stunk up the joint, man, defensively, man. We're just going to keep it a buck. That's our leader. That's our guy. Stunk up the joint. I mean, Derek White put on a two-way clinic. Offense, defense, hustle, you name it. He showed these guys what you need to do to get the job done and get wins. He was great tonight. He was great. I mean, how much did they have between Derek White and Porzingis? It wasn't even about Tatum and Brown tonight. Tatum came on stronger from, mid-second quarter to the end. But you had Porzingis with 21, White with 30. You had 51 between two of your role players.
Man, I don't even call it. It's funny. They're role players, but these guys don't even feel like role players, man. Especially like we know what KP can do when he's fully healthy and when he's on one. It just hurts, man. Yeah, Brunson stuck up the joint tonight. Derek White just had his way. 10 for 16 from the field, 30 points, 6 of 10 from downtown, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. He did whatever he wanted tonight. KP, we just continue to see that you have a big who can shoot threes. It's tough for Mitchell Robinson to keep up. Even Isaiah Hartenstein wasn't necessarily doing a great job out there either. It's just tough, man. Especially and when KP gets rolling, 7 for 13 from the field, 3 or 6 from downtown, gets you 21 points easy. He didn't even have to work the boards tonight, man.
Yeah,
3 rebounds for him. 3 rebounds. Between those two guys, as you mentioned, they were electric, and it just stinks because we did not have an answer. And I think what's more infuriating, CP, is that we've played Brook Lopez, we played KP. Both teams have a center that can stretch the floor, and we see what happens. I mean, how about that? How about the Brunson Isaiah Hartenstein play where you have KP setting a screen and then doing a pick and pop, right? With Derek White, and Derek White just gets all the way down the lane, and you're just like, what are you supposed to do with that, man? Like, we have not figured out how to stop a shooting big, and look, this team. When you look at the starting five, even tonight with Dante DiVincenzo in it, no great defense. There is just not. And I get that Dante is good at jumping the passing lanes and stuff like that. And it's still gonna take time to really see how the starting unit looks. Okay, and I know we're gonna talk about the Dante being in the starting rotation, but this was not a great defense tonight. And I'm kind of shocked that. Like, we discussed this early on. I was like, maybe at 30 games, if it's not working for Grimes, I could see Thibs making that adjustment and throwing Dante out there. But against a team that has the capability to go off like they did, I didn't expect to see a change like this because I don't necessarily think Dante is that defensive stalwart. And I know Grimes was struggling, but we've seen in the past, and even tonight, where you have Grimes, not saying he locked down Tatum, but there's a little bit of resistance you saw. Right? In that second unit. We'll get the second quarter. Gives a little bit of resistance to Tatum, misses the 3. Isaiah Hartenstein gets the rebound. Grimes is out there in transition, finishes the layup through contact. And that's the only thing I'd say, like, Grimes had at this point was just better defense than Dante.
Yeah.
And tonight you just see there is no resistance whatsoever. Now you're asking Mitchell Robinson to be a complete safety valve for this defense. Yeah. And we just saw that in the third quarter, man. They just blew the door open. They got to 100 points in the third quarter, man.
Got to 100 points in the third.
There has to be some resistance. I get that they're a top team, but we had better resistance at the beginning of the season against this team than tonight. Yeah,
no question. And in terms of the DiVincenzo Grimes thing, late announcement around 6 o'clock. Fred Katz of The Athletic had came out with the news that Dante DiVincenzo was going to be inserted into the starting lineup. Quentin Grimes coming off of the bench. With Grimes being the storyline, I thought it was a pretty decent night for him. A couple got caught up with a couple of bad decision making. He's got to clean that up. 2 turnovers, but went 5 for 10 from the field, 3 of 7 from downtown, 13 points, 2 dimes. Looked like the Grimes that you saw on a good night last year. Knocked down a couple of threes, put the ball on the floor, attacked some closeouts. They did a good job. First 2 plays when he got in off the bench, they ran for him. They ran. First 2 plays. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get Grimes some screens, run him off some screens, and get him some 3-point shots and get him some good looks. So, we talked about the fact that with Grimes, it's a 2-way street. He has to play better, and they've got to look out for him, run some plays for him, and get his confidence up. You could see both things happening as soon as he got into the game. So I'm encouraged by that. It is what it is. Look, guys, every team is not going to have, some kumbaya locker room for 82 games. Guys get unhappy. Guys get uncomfortable. Guys try to get on the same page. It's happening all around the league. Nothing wrong with him voicing his opinion and them addressing it. So I thought he looked back to himself tonight. Dante wasn't all that great. But also, like, with the Dante thing, wherever this goes, he's a role player for a reason. Don't look for him to be the savior to cure all their ills. He's not going to be knocking down 7 3-pointers every game just because he's starting. Like, he's a role player for a reason. They have up games. They have down games. You're hoping that you find something a little bit in the middle where, he doesn't kill you on nights. Tonight wasn't the greatest, but, what are you going to do? We'll have to see what happens. I mean, we know that Thibs makes his decisions 20 games in, but I'm still kind of surprised to see that he made it, given that, the team was still winning games and the starting 5 seemed to have been operating okay thus far.
And I sent out a tweet, CP, that drew a lot of ire from Knicks Twitter. I asked, was this a retaliation for Grimes speaking out?
Mhm.
Because about a week ago, if that, you had Thibs saying essentially he believes in Grimes and that he just has to work his way out of it, and it's still too early, right?
Mhm.
And that was not even that long ago. And then you have the press conference after they lose to the Bucks, and they say, hey, it's not all on Grimes. A lot of us didn't play well tonight. Okay, a lot of them didn't play well, and that's why it's a little shocking to me that after now he voices opinions after all those comments that he now goes to the bench. Now, granted, he looks better off the bench. It's easier for him to. It seems like it's easier for him to get more acclimated. Got to try it out. Look, you got Dante in the starting rotation. You played against a tough Celtics team. Let's go see another couple games before we get some conclusions about how Dante works with the starting unit and stuff like that. But for me, man, I'm just like, tonight didn't seem like the right night to make that switch, in all honesty. Like, and maybe it's good that Grimes had a decent game against a tough team, because now you can say, hey, at
Yeah.
least you're working your confidence back against a tougher team. Let's see if this like starts to be a domino effect moving forward. But tonight, man, like against this team, I don't. After a tough loss against the Bucks, I didn't think that making a change against a tough team like the Celtics was going to look great, especially when everyone needs to adjust to these type of roles. And I'm not saying it's like a massive overhaul, but Dante was in the starting rotation because Grimes was injured. Now you're putting Grimes on the bench. Now it was okay to a certain degree, but I was not expecting this change. I'm intrigued though. I'm intrigued to see how
Yeah.
it all plays out. But I did like what you said. I did like what you said, because it is not the silver bullet, and this is a difference. I hope people aren't comparing this to what it was last season with Grimes and Evan Fournier, because there's a difference in a massive upgrade defensively, which you were losing out on in that starting rotation next to Brunson. Whereas this, to me, it's so similar that, and why I didn't really think it made a big difference is because both of these guys are just role players, as you noted. It's like at the end of the day, they're going to have good nights and they're going to have bad nights because they're role players.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting Dante to be the saving grace to be like, now we're the championship contender. As we saw tonight, we're still a tier below the Celtics, and we're still a tier below the Bucks. So, if anyone thought that was going to be a championship winning caliber team just because of that change, I'm sorry, but that wasn't going to happen with this.
That's not it. So to Young Kobe franchise channel member, friend of the program. Shout out to Kobe. $10 super chat. Says 279 points in the last two games. 0-8 against teams with a winning record. SMH, Derek White MVP. Jalen Brunson slipped on a banana peel at the free throw line with 20 seconds left. Can't make this up. Yeah, Brunson did seem to, slip and maybe injured himself a little bit. You got to hope that that's not long term, but that was a little disappointing to see, especially at the end of the game. What did you think about what did you think about the Brunson play?
It's unfortunate, man. Tatum was still in the game too, so I'm not looking. It was, it was still tight enough where you could say, hey, maybe something could happen. So I get it. But it's unfortunate. He backpedals midair and he steps on Peyton Pritchard's foot and then rolls his ankle. Stuff happens, man. If it happened, the thing with injuries is that, and I get why you want guys out when it's like under 2 minutes, because if it's so out of reach, it doesn't make sense to waste your starters. But injuries can happen at any point throughout the game too. So I'm like, it's not, for me, it's not like, oh my God, what are we doing here? Like, it doesn't get that reaction from me. It's unfortunate. Hopefully he doesn't have to miss much time, because that is our starting point guard. We do need him.
I think that's the thing that's he's too important to this team, man. Like, I think the guys in the MSG telecast are saying, well, he likes to stay in, he likes to play. Thibs is that guy. Injuries can happen at the beginning of the game, middle, end, practice, whatever the case, walking down the street. But I don't know. You hate seeing that, man. It's just like when RJ got hurt last year.
For sure.
Similarly in garbage time. You just hate seeing this. I mean, the game was over from the third quarter. You really didn't need Brunson in. From like the third quarter, you really didn't need to be in. But
you know what happens? They cut it down to 7, and you're like, hey, maybe there's a chance. You start to see Julius come back in, and who knows, man? That's That's what these guys are going to do, man. Between Thibs, Brunson, Randall, they're all competitors. If they think they have a chance, that's what it is.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up one for you boys. Let us know how you guys are feeling, man. Call us up, 657-383-1509. You want to talk Knick defense. You want to talk Grimes, DiVincenzo, whatever you want to talk. You want to talk Kenny Smith. Did Kenny have a point? Were you feeling Kenny's point tonight after a tough loss to the Boston Celtics? Call us up. Let us know how you guys are feeling. Shout out a couple more franchise channel members. Shout out to Philo PR. Shout out to Michael Armstrong. Welcome to the franchise channel members for you people at home. Join, man. $4.99 a month. Less than a cup of coffee for quality Knicks content and conversation. Trust and believe, man. And check out that Kid Merrill interview from yesterday. Let's go to Joey.
Was fantastic.
Appreciate it. Let's go to Joey on the Discord. Joey, unmute your mic.
Yo, what's good?
What's good? How you feeling?
Yeah, not too bad. Just want to say, CP, Alex, appreciate what you're doing for us in the community.
Absolutely.
Even with the NBA report, been tuning in lately.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 3 p.m. NBA report rocking. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just quick shout out to Stilico and the Bumulus Hive. Sign those applications down in the Discord chat.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to touch on something real quick. I'm really disappointed on how Brunson performed on the three-point perimeter. The shots just weren't falling for him today.
Mm-hmm.
And same with DiVincenzo. You can't always hold him to the standard that you were talking about before. With the 7 3-pointers that he had a couple games ago, we shouldn't hold him to that standard. But yeah, really disappointing from him. Then you've got Randall on a three-point defense, just really not like always dropping his head when it's just not going his way.
Mm-hmm.
Start of the game, Mitchell, just his defense, 8 points from the rip. Zingas just absolutely destroying him.
Ate him up.
And then you've got RJ Barrett in the third quarter. He brought us back, and then you've got Thibs subbing him out. It's just ridiculous. Something you don't really want to see from a coach. And yeah, it's just really disappointing. We shouldn't have been that far down to start of the third quarter.
Yeah.
Man, these third quarters are killing us, bro.
Killing us.
It's starting to become a habit.
Yep.
And it's getting really frustrating watching it from the screen. So, yeah, I just want to see what you guys' opinions are. And, yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. You know what, Al, the Brunson thing, and look, and shout out to our guys at Underdog Sports, Underdog Fantasy. And I hate going against the Knicks in these things. I didn't I pick it? I picked against Brunson and Underdog, and the other joint, and on NBA Report. I picked a lower number, points, rebounds, and assists for Brunson.
You did.
He's had average games against these Celtics. The first 2 games that they played this season, he's got White on him sometimes. Sometimes Drew Holiday. Sometimes he's drawing Tatum or Brown on the switches. They make it tough for him. They make it very difficult for him. It's a tough team. And he's had some tough outings against them. So I went with the under tonight, and I hit on that one. Now, he did speak about RJ. I did go with more or higher than 1.5 threes for RJ tonight. He hit that. He finished well. I thought RJ was the best Knick tonight.
He was.
I thought he was the best
I'm actually
Knick
shocked
tonight.
that he didn't get back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, where were you?
We needed offense, and we were like, hey, let's not bring in the guy that was actually cooking tonight. Good job, Thibs.
Well, let's not bring him in.
Yeah, I don't get that, man. Like, how do you not see that this dude is going 9 of 16 from the field, getting downhill, shooting his threes, getting to the line, gets you 23 points, man. Why? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing tonight that we're like, hey, you know what? Let's stick with Josh Hart. Granted, Josh Hart, I thought he had a solid game, 7 of 6, 6 rebounds, got you 6 points efficiently. But I'm like, we need RJ back out there.
Yeah.
Why not go to Hart and RJ? Why not do that combo? And this is what confuses me. And then you bring out Dante at the end. I'm like, and you brought RJ out at the end too. And I'm like, what? With less than 3 minutes to go, with about 3 minutes to go, we're going to do this. We're really going to do this at this point where the game was you theoretically could be had when it's 7 points, and you don't bring back your best score. It's just confusing, man. So this is where you look at Thibs and you say how do you do the closing lineups and the rotations, and you get questions. Even if we won, I'm still questioning why you don't bring RJ back in.
23 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 9 of 16 shooting for Broadway, 2 of 5 from downtown. Nice bounce back game for him. But tough night, man. These guys couldn't guard anything. Literally could not guard anything. Defense wasn't good. It just wasn't good. Dan from New Jersey.
And on top of that, Mitch gets injured, bro.
Mitchie got a little hurt out there. Brunson got a little hurt out there. Not good when you're about to go out west in a couple of days. Dan from New Jersey. Dan, how you feeling?
Okay, wow.
Okay, what's good?
Gentlemen, I'm afraid I have to tell you guys that Tom Thibodeau is exactly who we thought he is. He's a good coach. Sometimes he can do great things, but he's just never going to be a great coach with a capital G, in my humble opinion. I'm not going to act like our roster tonight really did him any favors. I thought we looked lackluster on the closeouts. We left way too many three-point shooters open, but I think that's by design with Thibs' defensive style. Somebody has to tell me why we can never guard a 5-out offense. Somebody has to tell me why. Do we always play drop? Is that it? Were we playing drop today? I feel like we were.
Some when Mitch was in. Sometimes when Mitch was in, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't understand it, man. That's Kristaps Porzingis. That's Porzingis, bro. He'll lace it, bro. Yeah. I don't understand it. This team gives up way too many open looks for my liking. It's always every night I feel like we're just going in hoping that teams shoot below 40% so that we could win the game. I don't like that. I don't like that Thibodeau subbed out RJ. I thought that was gross. I thought it was even grosser towards the end. It was basically it wasn't Thibs' night, man. Even when Brunson got hurt at the end, the old Thibs leaving his guy in when the game is over. I think it. But here's the thing, man. None of it is really phasing me because none of this is anything new. Mm-hmm. You know, we've always seen from Thibs that he can raise the floors of teams, but he's never going to be able to that guy that gets you to that ceiling. Not with the way that his substitution patterns take people out of rhythm. Not with the way that his defensive schemes often usually have antidotes. And when the antidote is presented to Thibs' defensive scheme, he usually refuses to change it. He sticks to his guns. He's stubborn because he feels that the way that he's always done things is what's gotten him this far. But what he doesn't realize is he'll never get to where he wants to go if he continues in his old ways, man. So credit to Thibs for what he's done with the team. I think he's the best coach we've had in a while. But I can also say I don't think we're going to get to where we want to go with this guy. But that's fine. I don't think we're going to be going there anytime within the next 2 years anyway.
Okay. Appreciate the call. Dan from New Jersey, man. Appreciate the call. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the same exercise, every loss. It's the same exercise every loss. Where's all the give credit to Thibs people when they win? And how stellar his coaching efforts were when they win. You never hear that, right? When they lose, it's, he got out-coached. He's supposed to win. He's supposed to coach us to wins. Not when you're getting smoked out there offensively, man.
All right, look, man. You got I get that it relies on personnel, but this is the personnel we got.
Bro, your best players are not good defenders, ladies and gentlemen, period. They're not. No coach is going to make Jalen and Julius all-star caliber defenders. They're not those guys. Whether they're physically limited or mentally limited. They're going to have up and down games. Your stars have to lead the way on both ends, bro. That's part of the problem. I think they've got issues about the problem, man. But I think it's part of it. I also think
there's ways that you could try to mask it. There's ways that you could try to reduce the amount. Dude, they just put up 47 threes. 47. The Celtics put up 47 threes. Who's guarding Al Horford? It's not Randall.
It's a good
question. It's not Brunson. Why is he open? Why is it that we got a trap? Who's calling for the traps? Who's calling for high hedging? Who's calling for blitzes? That's what the coach tells them to do. So like for me, it's also like, hey, could you switch it up? Could you figure out, hey, let's not play drop? Let's not always force the corner three. That's the whole point of drop, is to force the corner three because it's the toughest pass to make and it's the hardest shot. It's one of the easiest shots to make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, why do we keep going to that? Every time I had to see Al Horford and Derek White, it was a corner three, bro.
Corner three.
Wide open. If you're supposed to make it tough for the ball to get over there, why is it getting over there? Like, you're either saying you don't have the right personnel, and if you don't have the right personnel, then it's not just the coach. You got to look at the front office for not getting you the right personnel. But if you're saying the coach is like, hey, the guys are not getting over there, well, then you know what you got to do? You got to figure out, hey, what works to this place out to all these guys' strengths so that way they can get over there without having an open three. Like, I get that Julius and Brunson are not the best defenders, but we also saw last season, even though they're not the best defenders, we can hang with some of these tough teams because it's possible. It is capable. And I'm just like, there are ways that you can try to mask it. Look, the fact that we have to watch the Pacers be a historic offense, the fact that you got to watch all these other teams that not necessarily have like the greatest setup. Like the Kings are still good, but they don't have the greatest defense. You're watching Fox and Sabonis, which is essentially the same thing as what we have right now, doing the thing out west. Like, what can we be a little bit creative?
Bro, I get it. I totally get it, man. I totally get it. But then you look at a guy like a Drew Holiday, you look at a Derek White, you look at how menacing they are on the defensive end and how they can wreck. Look at that third quarter. You look at that third quarter.
I'm still having nightmares of the third quarter, okay? Having nightmares because it's happened the last game.
Look, I'm not saying it's not scheme at all. I'm not saying that. Of course, everybody's to blame when it's a loss. But I'm saying you look at those two players. They are a cut above the rest defensively. You look at Drew Holiday. The Celtics can leave Drew Holiday on an island with Julius Randle. They could leave him there because they know that Drew Holiday is going to outsmart him. He's not going to overpower him as much as you want him to. Because Drew Holiday, he's very stocky, he's very physical, and he's very smart. So they can leave him out there. That's a luxury that other teams don't have. You look at us out there, and we're going up against Porzingis, and you look like a bunch of midgets out there.
All I'm asking for, CP, at this point, this team is really good. I get it. I was at the last game. Thankfully, I didn't go to this game.
Yeah,
obviously, because I'm here with you. But can we at least make it competitive? Can I at least walk out of this game and be like, you know what? Man, we're not going to beat the Celtics. But you know what? We're at least that much closer to where we're heading. And I can't even say that. And what hurts, CP, is the fact that we just gave up, 300 points? 79 points? I think that's the number I see flying around. 279 points within the last two games. And your defense is just not there. And we're not an offensively gifted team. And this is a team that's supposed to be defensive oriented. And the fact that you're still getting smoked, okay? Smoked. And tonight, it wasn't even Tatum and Brown. It was Derek White and KP. It was your third and fourth option tonight.
Derek White and KP drop a 50 piece on
the Knicks. You can even argue that Derek White's the fifth option. And I'm like, what is happening?
Dropped a 50 piece.
Al Horford was the best bench player
dropped a 50 piece, man.
But yet I have to watch this team, and I'm like, can I just feel good? The fact that we competed. I'm not like no one came in here. We're realistic. I'm not coming here saying we're going to win a championship. We're going to the Eastern Conference Finals or anything of that nature. But I at least expected a competitive team. And to say that the Bucks are, and look, we competed against the Bucks the first time. They shot great the second time we faced them. We competed with the Celtics the first game. We were in that game, the second matchup against the Celtics, until we had a terrible end to the second quarter. And the same thing, a third quarter that just went haywire for the Knicks. All I'm asking for, CP, is to see that we're competitive in these games. That's it.
Yeah.
But it's the execution that kills me. It kills me to watch that the execution is not there and that the scheme is not there. That's what bothers me the most, because it's cool and everything that we can go out there and beat the Wizards, beat the Hornets, and we can all rally because Dante dropped 7 threes, or even tonight you're like, oh, Grimes is back into it. But none of that even matters if we can't see a cohesive unit for a majority of the season doing the damn thing. And this is what really gets to me, CP, is that the slogan coming into the season was consistency. Consistency, consistency, consistency. Where is it? Where is it?
They're in a rut
because
right
that's
now,
why
man.
I'm irritated. You're supposed to. The whole point of consistency is that, hey, you got another year understanding where these guys are going to be on the court. You have another year of understanding this defense. You have another year of implementing an offensive identity to it as well. You have another year of just what we've asked for as Knicks fans, of just like continuity, so that way, like, oh, we can see some fluidity in this team.
Yep.
And I get there to be nights where you get smoked, and I get that there's nights where it's going to look great. But the fact that we haven't even seen the consistency and we're playing top teams that we beat last year, granted, not even the same teams, it's aggravating, man. It's just aggravating.
Haven't had that signature win over a top team in the East yet. They haven't had it yet. December 8th. I'm still searching. So we'll see. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal. Chuck D out. $10 super chat says this team is supposed to beat everyone. Okay. Boston, we really lost this by 30. They got past us every shot. They got past us every shot. Easy. Every shot. Eventually, we need another big that can keep some bench mobile intimidation in our middle. I mean, we need some size out there too, man. It was tough watching Julius out of that game, and you got Hart and RJ and all these guys try to take on Porzingis. I'm just like, damn, man, this is tough. It's tough, man.
To see Josh Hart out there. Did you see the clip of it was through the NBA? Do you see the clip? I think it was rolling through IG where you see Josh Hart talking to Brook Lopez for the in-season tournament. He's like, hey, man, it's a mismatch between you and me, just like joking. I was like, it's funny that, and I'm thinking like, yo, you got to play a little bit of like jokes and try to do a mind game, because when he's out there, you're like, damn, like, we really don't have a backup four.
We don't
like,
have
we
it.
Really, like, we are like, there is a serious height advantage.
We don't have it.
Between both of these teams, there's a true height advantage.
Yeah. I mean, KP came back and just absolutely killed us. And again, 1,000 people on the chat. Let's get those likes up, man. We got 180 likes. Let's get those likes up. Don't be lazy on defense like the Knicks were tonight. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Support the channel. Support the wave. #1 show for the fans by the fans. KnicksFanTV. And if you see any imposters out there, call them out, because they're coming up like weeds. They're coming out like whack-a-mole, right? We got imposters stealing our thumbnails, our graphics. Right? They're stealing our sets.
Man. Could you
with no shame. No shame.
None. Zero.
Digressed.
You sent me that, I was like, what?
Yeah, digressed a little bit. I was like, whoa.
But you know what they always say, CP?
Stole our font and everything. Like, damn.
Yo.
No shame.
You know what they say, though? You know what they say? Imitation is the best form of flattery.
Oh, for sure. But man, I said, Lord. I mean, you know, people will try to like imitate us and try to like siphon off some viewers. You know what I mean? But like the real ones know what to come to. Our fans are very smart. They see the logo, they see the channel name, they're subscribed, they hit the thumbs up, they hit the notification bell, they're subscribed to the newsletter, they follow us on this, and so they know how to get to us. You know.
Yo, you pulled out the glasses again because you had to do a double take. You're like, wait a minute, what?
Bro, I said wait, because for a second there I almost clicked. I said wait, what's going on? We only got. I said, how are we live with 20 people, with 2 people watching, and I didn't hit start yet on this thing. So, you know, Frame Blast Music, what's good? Shout out Scott Novak, salute.
Frame Boss Music, flatter my bank account.
Yeah, right. So it's just funny, man. It's just funny. So it's a rare edition. As I was saying, he says, this emphasizes the moves that Boston and Milwaukee made in the offseason. We got JB. They read up this offseason. We are just a cut below those teams. We are. We're just a cut below. We just a cut below. Shout out to Christian Clement Al. $5 super chat says, Big Meech is an offensive liability. Against decent teams, he's a baller, but against contenders, he gets exposed. I had a tough night against Porzingis, for sure. Can't keep up there. It's a tough matchup. You know, some guys just have weaknesses. And once again, shout out to Rare Edition. $5 We just gifted 5 Knicks Fan TV channel memberships. All right, so appreciate Rare Edition for the support. Okay, to the phones we go. Let's go to Kyrie Be Cooking on the Discord. Kyrie, what's good?
Hey, what up, CP? What up, Alex?
What up, man? What's your name? Where you calling it from?
New York.
Okay.
You guys were spot on with everything. I think especially after these 5 losses to the Bucks and Celtics, and you could see we're small. 42 threes given up 2 games in a row is terrible. I think our guards are too small. I always see them running around the 3-point line. We can't catch up to the open passes and the open looks. But Scott Perry was spot on. We need a 6'8" wing on this team.
Need a wing,
like
bro.
OG Anunoby, but somebody I've had my sights on for a while is Scotty, and I'm not talking about Scottie Pippen, Scotty Barnes. If you could set up a package for him somehow, that'd be good. But I don't think there's too many available wings in the league right now, so I think Scotty Barnes would be a good look. But
Okay.
I think we definitely need to, the only thing we have right now is our defense, and if we're letting that go, it's going to be a problem. So, yeah.
Thanks for the call, man.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Area code 929. What's your name? Where are you calling it from?
Hey, it's Moses. I'm calling.
Calling from where? Sound like you're calling from the library. You speaking to the phone a little bit?
Yeah, I'm calling from New York.
Okay.
Can
All
you
right.
hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. I mean, sound like, calling from a phone booth or something. You kind of whispering.
Yeah, man. The thing is this, man. We need size, bro. I don't know. Like, I've been keep hearing his name, Donovan Mitchell, but I don't know how we're gonna get him to come here. Like, if we do get him, how much difference is that gonna make our team?
Yeah.
And I don't know if we should. I don't know if we should get rid of Thibs or not. Because the team with another coach, I'm not gonna sit up here and say it's his fault because because how much talent do we really have, really?
Yeah.
For you to blame him. So, I mean, this is what y'all always gotta look at here. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, my thought is, man, if you're out there on a stakeout, you just be on the lookout. I'm gonna let you go so you can handle your business, man. I don't know if he's on a mission or something. My man's whispering you in the library, you're doing some research on a Friday night. I don't know. Then you got the last caller talking about let's go trade for Scotty Barnes. So I'm gonna reset. We're gonna reset. So to everybody in the chat once again, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. This is Knicks Fan TV. The Knicks just got washed in Boston, 133-123. CP the franchise, Alex Taurus on the ones and twos. Not a great night for the Knicks big two in Randall and Brunson on both ends of the floor. You had Brunson go down with a bit of a look like a lower extremity injury. You had the Grimes, DiVincenzo backdrop. Good job by Grimes off the bench. But overall, not a good night for the Knicks defense, Al. What do you think? Just a little reset. You got to reset the vibes, man. Vibes off.
Let me tell you something. CP,
like, yo, bro. Like, you running from your mom's? Like, what's going on, man? You sound like you're in a closet or something. You on a stakeout? What's going on, bro?
I'm staking out. I'm just outside on West.
Like, you spying on your girl or something? Like, what's going on right now? What is
we
going on?
gotta check the windows. I don't know where
we gotta check what's going on, man.
Hey, look. Tough night for the Knicks, CP.
Yeah.
Tough night for the Knicks.
Yeah.
But look, man, this is just therapy.
Yeah.
We got a West Coast trip.
For sure.
I'm gonna try to be positive.
Okay.
West Coast trip. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Yeah, that's it. Look, that's it, man. We get it off, get some steam out tonight, and bounce back tomorrow with or Monday rather with Toronto coming into town looking for revenge. So they better be ready. One thing's for certain though, Al. This show is presented by BetUS, the official sports book of KnicksFanTV, man. Check out BetUS, ladies and gentlemen. They are safe, reliable, excellent customer service, and fast payouts. Go on there. You make your parlays for the game. You can bet on your props, your over-unders. They have live casino betting. You have futures bets as well. So make sure you guys tap in. Once again, check out our guys at BetUS. Hit the link below for a bonus match on your deposit of 125%. So one of the best bonus matches in the game right now. So make sure you guys tap into that. And hey, if you took the Knicks plus 7.5, well, that wasn't a good one tonight because Knicks lost by 10. And hey, listen, man, it was a tough night. A tough night at the office for the New York Knickerbockers in this one. But either way, man, check us out. Check out our guys at BetUS. Hit the link in the video description. Play responsibly, gamble responsibly, absolutely. But make sure you guys check out BetUS, the official sports book of KnicksFanTV. Okay. All right. Let's go back. Let's go back to the calls.
You're trying to gather yourself so bad.
Yeah. 732. What's your name? Where you calling it from? 732.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear. What's your name? Where you calling it from?
I'm Jay, man. I'm from Jersey.
There we go.
How you guys doing?
Good. Fantastic. Never been better.
All right, man. Yeah, so I'm a first-time caller.
Okay.
I love the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna be, quick with my takes.
We hope so.
But first of all, I just wanted to start off, addressing what Kenny said on TNT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought he was, pretty much accurate, in his assessment. I think that, for the most part, we do have the second best player on the court. But I didn't agree with, some of the names that he mentioned, like Paolo Banchero. I don't think he's on either Randall or Brunson's level.
Mm-hmm.
My main concern with the team, though, is it feels like we are stagnating a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see exactly where we've improved so far from last year. Because, everyone told us that there was going to be internal development, there was going to be increased chemistry, and I expect that to lead to some better performances against top teams. I know that we're not better than Boston or Milwaukee, but to say that, to accept that, we can't win a single game, I don't think that should be our expectation. Because you look at the Pacers, they don't play any defense, but they found ways to beat both the Bucks and the Celtics, right? So it's not as if, and I'm not saying that they would beat either of those teams in a 7-game series,
right?
But you would expect the Knicks to at least win a game against these types of teams, because these are the teams that the Knicks should be judged against, right? Because we expect this team to make the playoffs, and in that first round, you're going to be playing a really good team, probably not Milwaukee or Boston, but even if you play like Orlando or Indiana, I would be concerned. I would be concerned if I'm a Knicks fan against those type of teams. I mean, defensively right now, I think our scheme can be exposed because if you have great perimeter shooters, then, and you don't have good point of attack defenders, then if you have guys that can get into the paint, like Tyrese can just get into our paint and he's going to be spraying out to a guy like Miles Turner, guys like Buddy Hield, like that can cause a lot of issues for our scheme defensively. So like for me personally, I just think that I'm seeing more longer term issues that could lead to, disappointing performance in the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. But
good call. Your name again, sir? Your name again, Josh? You said?
No, Jay.
Jay. Rate that call in the chat. 1
Jay,
being trash, 5 being facts. Is that a call of the night nominee? I think Dan from New Jersey. got the first one. Are we nominating Jay from? Where are you from again, Jay? Jersey, right?
Jersey.
Are we nominating Jay from Jersey for another call of the night? I think a lot of people were feeling your takes there. Thanks for getting us back on track. We got off the rails a little bit. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
No doubt. Call back anytime. Okay. What do you think there, Al? Jay from Jersey. What do you think? What do you think about his takes?
I think they're fair, man. I essentially agree with everything you said. I mean, talk about Kenny because I didn't really get to talk about that on the show yet. I think there's a little disrespect to both Randall and Brunson, and more so Brunson, in my opinion, just because we just saw what he did last season with the Knicks. Like, to say that the Knicks always have the second best, like, I'm not looking at, like, you talk about the Bulls, the Hornets, all these things. I'm like, yeah, in theory, like, you can live off the potential of like LaMelo. You could talk about, I guess, if you thought Levine was better at some point, but it's like they're up there. I mean, are they like top 10, top 15 guys in the league? No, but look, they're still respectable. They can get you to the playoffs. So I think that you got to put some respect on their name for what they did, especially after last season. With regards to like how other teams are competing, that's what I was saying, man. It's like, can we at least be competitive against these teams?
Yeah.
And I like what Jay said. Can you take
3-9?
Can you take a game, because we just saw the Pacers beat the Bucks and the Celtics. Now, could you say, hey, they beat the Celtics without KP and that changes everything? I'll hear you on that. But the Bucks still had Giannis and they still had Dame. And you could even say, hey, the Celtics still had Tatum, they still had Brown, they still had their top backcourt, which Halliburton was able to break down. So, you know, that's where you're like, you see other teams do this. And that's where I'm just like, can I just see competitiveness? And like, each team is built differently, so I'm not expecting them to have the same success. There's some teams, like last season, or even this, you see the Orlando Magic beat the Celtics. You're like, hey, there's just some matchups against certain teams that just does not work out for you. But I at least need to see this team be competitive. So at the end of the day, I do agree with what Jay said. I would like to see this team steal one. That'd be nice. That'd boost some confidence.
I think, and I reacted to the Kenny thing quite a bit, but just to sum it up, I think a lot of fans got caught up in the names. You know, he's name dropping and this guy, that guy, that guy. And so, yeah, I think it was more so the Boncaro thing where it was like, all right, well, you know, Julius and Jalen are better than Paolo right now. Well, that doesn't mean the Magic are getting ready to trade him for those guys right now. No, they believe in his future and his ceiling, which I think you'd be smart to. He's going to be a great player. So I wouldn't get caught up in the whole name thing. But in the grand scheme of things, they're right. Like, the Knicks don't have that guy that can get them to a legitimate contender status. You need Jalen and Julius to play at a high level every night for them to have a chance. That's just how they're built. I think he was right on that. And then, you know, a lot of fans got on the mainstream media, they're only covering the Knicks from a championship or bust standpoint. It's unfair. Why don't they cover any other team like that? And I came out with a response on Twitter. I said, well, for one, it's New York. It's the largest media market in the world. It's the Knicks. It's a 50-year championship drought. So, like, no, they're not going to be covered like the Magic or the OKC Thunder. They're not going to be covered like those guys. Those guys are getting covered like, oh, man, look at these dumpster fires that are finally getting their act together. With the Knicks, it's when is this dumpster fire who's making strides, or when are they finally going to turn the corner? It's been a 50-year drought. So, unfortunately, that's the discourse on those platforms. If you want more in-depth coverage, you come to KnicksFanTV. It's no problem. Everybody wins. There's something out there for everybody. So I don't worry about what they're talking about or the lack thereof, because we got our own shit over here. All right? Pardon my French. Friday night.
You're aggravated, I can tell.
Friday night. I'm aggravated. I'm sipping a little bit. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, he is right. But I say that to say, you know, when they lose to these teams, when they lose to the tier ones that are clearly a cut above, it heightens the anxiety around the team. And you lose patience a little bit. You get tested, right? You start asking questions. Coming into this season, my expectations for the Knicks aren't going to change just because they can't beat the Bucks or the Celtics. They are who they are. They are who I thought they were when they came into the season. And I believe that my expectations will be right at the end of the season. They're a mid-tier team. They're a mid-tier team. They're not a tier one team. That's what I believe when they came into this thing. That's what I will believe no matter how they finish this season. They will not be a tier one team with this current roster. They will never be. Now, doesn't mean that you can't accomplish certain goals. Like what Jay was saying, he doesn't see the internal improvement in the internal development. Well, maybe after game 20, you might not see it. But it's an 82-game season. Like, you still got to keep that in mind. You can still accomplish the goals with regards to this team at the end of it all. And so one game doesn't define that. One game is not going to take you off course and say, well, this guy's not going to get better, that guy's not going to get better. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got to look at it when it's all done before you can say, well, this was a failure or they didn't accomplish anything.
Yeah, look, I'll give you this, right? Last season when Grimes got inserted to the starting rotation, through 12 games, he averaged 6.3 points, shy under 3 rebounds, a shy under 2 assists, shot 47% from the field, 30% from 3, 80% from a free throw line. It was averaging 20 minutes. Now, after that 9-man rotation change, CP, and before Josh Hart got to the team, he was averaging 12 points, about 4 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 45% from the field, 36% from downtown, still 80% from the free throw line. But you hear, and he was doing that in like 35 minutes per game, right? And then he's still able to continue that a similar type success. He actually shot better from 3 after the Josh Hart trade. He shot over 40%, and he shot 47%. He shot 47% from the field after the Hart trade. So it's like, you look at that, it's like, that's the course of an 82-game season, right? That's where you say, hey, internal development can pop up at any single point. Players go through droughts, man. We've seen it with RJ every single time that he's here. That's why I was never like, I never had that much angst for like Grimes' situation where it's like, okay, you could switch it with Dante, but once again, it's not going to do that much. It's not going to do that much difference. We were going now to tier 1. That's why I'm like, at the end of the day, we're just swapping a role player for a role player. And I'm always going to be on the side of, hey, develop the guy that you drafted because you drafted him. He also earned it last season. I get that you could say there's a certain point where you got to cut it off and it's been too much and you got to see what you can do to get back on track. But that's why for me, like, never change anything. But I totally hear your point. But at the end of the day, like, it comes back to what do we see competitively from this team? Like, I'm not expecting, like, if we get to an ECF, that'd be great. But I was not expecting that coming into the season. I just want to see competitive basketball and say, hey, there's a reason why this team is attractive to another star. And I think to your point, when it gets to, you know, New York and why it's not covered like Indy and Orlando, is because when you think of Indy and Orlando, no one's running there through free agency and be like, you know where I want to go? I want to go to Indiana. I want to go to Orlando. And I forget who we were talking with, but it was like on the NBA report. I forget who it was, but it's like, you look at those destinations and there's a reason why they have to do it as a slow rebuild. It was our guy, Alex, who we brought on to talk about OKC. It's like, look, no one's running out to OKC. You have to go build through the draft. You have to do it as much as you can and do better scouting, because to entice somebody to come to OKC, it has to be a great situation. And so for the Knicks, conversely, it's a hub. It's one of the greatest cities in the world. You know, you just say, hey, it's New York. It's like why people want to go to Miami. It's like why people want to go to LA.
Yeah.
Right? Well, Ron wanted to go to LA. It's not because they had Lonzo or Brandon Ingram or any of the or Kyle Kuzma.
He got there and said,
he was like, yo, I like LA.
These guys and packing these guys up.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
The sound of LA sounds nice. I want to go there.
Yeah.
And that's the difference when you talk about coverage for this team and why they ask.
So to Coolvitz, man, $20 super chat says weaknesses in Knicks defense was exposed by Miami. The game was their first third quarter doom. All teams have been playing the Knicks the same way. Same reason the Pistons game was so close. Will Thibs adjust? Well, made his starting lineup adjustment 20 games in. We'll see if he makes a scheme adjustment. We'll see. See what Thibs is up to, man. So to this Coolvids, man, longtime supporter of the show. Appreciate the super chat. Let's go to area code 516-812. What's your name? Where are you calling in from? Rapid fire. Let's go. Did we lose him? I think we literally just lost him. Area code 929. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yeah, it's Moses. I'm back, man. Can y'all hear me better now?
You just called?
Yeah, you had me on hold because it was like a satellite problem. Now it's better. Can you hear me now?
Is this a guy that was on the stakeout?
No, I wasn't on the stakeout.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. It sounded like the same.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right. Like, man, like every time I see this team play, I'm just like, damn, I just wish Joel Embiid was in this team, man, or Donovan Mitchell or what. But do you think how much better can this team get if they get Donovan Mitchell's or Joel Embiid? Well, to me, most likely Donovan Mitchell's. Really, how much better can they? How much better can that make that team?
Yeah. Well, certainly your offense should improve, right? You're bringing in another bucket getter in Donovan Mitchell, and sometimes that's what the Knicks need, a reliable bucket getter. Defensively, could be a little questionable, right? Could definitely be a little questionable, But I'd take Spider on here. Will it work? Probably not, but I'd take Spider here. Am I bugging or was that the same guy, bro?
It's got to be the same guy.
That sounded like the same guy. But because why would somebody be like, well, can you hear me better now? If it's your first time calling. I think he tried to pull a foot trick on us. I think he tried to cross us up.
This is like when Cody Glock called in acting as his cousin.
I need Edgar, man. Edgar's out in Aruba right now. We got nobody monitoring the phones right now. It's Wild Wild West. 860, what's your name? Where you calling in from? Rapid fire. Have a good take, please.
CP, Alex, this is Louis from Jacksonville. How you
There we go. There we go. Louis, how you feeling, man?
I'm doing good, man. Watch the game. Watch the Knicks lose to a better team.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. Call that the first thing. But, remember where they were trying to do the two big guys on the court at the same time? It seems like when they're playing against Boston and when they play against Milwaukee, they never try to put a second big guy on the court when they have Porzingis and another big guy on the court. That's causing a problem when Robinson's got to guard Porzingis, and then there's nobody to play defense on because, they're getting by their guards, but there's nobody there to block the shot. I mean, I think I'd like to see that try. Bring up Isaiah Roby. Give him some playing time. He's 6'8".
He's not playing no defense for you. He's not playing no. He's tall for nothing. What's Isaiah Roby going to do?
But we don't have anybody going up to try to block shots. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
I mean, somebody on the roster that we don't have.
I hear you. I mean, I hear you. He's not doing it. He's damn sure not doing that. I mean, you're better off getting Sims in there. You're better off getting simulation in there. I had to let him go a little early, man. I thought he was going to save the day. He was talking about bringing Isaiah Roby in here to save the day, man. It's Friday night. 252, area code 252. What's your name? Where you calling in from? What do you got for us? Hello. 252. All right, he's not ready, so he's out of there. 609, what's your name? Where you calling in from?
This is Al from Jersey.
Al, how you feeling?
Good. Hi, gentlemen. Hi, guys. Listen, it's just it's a broken record. We don't have the firepower.
Yeah.
We don't have the firepower to match with any team, let alone the Bucks and the Boston Celtics and stuff. Thibs said in the beginning of the season, you got to trust the pass. I'm an old point guard from back in the 70s. I don't see anything. Listen, I know Brunson. He surprised me. He's definitely a damn scorer. He's a finisher. Mm-hmm. But he was brought here to make the team balance, to make make the right decision. Yeah, he's making assists, but he's passing. Him and Randolph are passing back to each other. You understand? Mm-hmm. And it's they don't even look for anybody. The game against Milwaukee, when Grimes got pissed off, he only got one shot. And then you have Mitchell, they got two shots. To me, that's the floor general that has to get these guys involved.
Yeah.
Okay? I understand Grimes has his problems and stuff. He does initiate a lot of the his effort, his game to show his game. But he will, he defers too much to the big three. And, I look at the Knicks and I think about what team they're going to be playing. If they're going to play Kansas, OKC, or they're going to play Orlando, or they're going to play, these teams still have better firepower than us. And then you talked before about development. Those teams have been developed with draft choices. I don't understand why we got guys that have been here now 3 years or more, and the development has not been done. And again, Thibs always says you got to trust the pass. I'm still waiting to see the pass. I'm still waiting to see the hockey exist. I mean, to me, it's unfair. I don't know if you guys see the same thing.
Well, do you think You don't think Mitchell Robinson has developed, or quickly, or RJ for that matter? You don't think they develop on the Thibs? Yeah, Julius, 2 All-Stars on the Thibs. Yeah, Jalen Brunson coming here, best season of his career on the Thibs.
Yeah, but still, with Julius Randle, a lot of times he's a turnover to happen all the time.
Yeah.
He forces the issue a lot of times, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
He should just start from the foul line and do his damage from there. I would never, if I was coach, I would never have him shoot a 3. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Brunson. Listen, I love Brunson, but he was not here to be Luka Doncic Brunson. He was here to level the team and straighten it out. Why do we see this team not develop or not at least play continuity with each other, but yet you have other teams, and I'm not even talking about the elites. I'm just talking about the Orlandos, the OKCs and stuff and so on. They develop their players. And they develop their players quicker than we do. And we're supposed to be the mecca of basketball? I'm sorry. I mean, I go to the games and I start praying that I hope that we get a good game because we do not have the firepower.
Don't have it. Don't have the firepower. What's your name again, sir? What's your name?
Al.
Al from where again?
New Jersey.
Al from New Jersey. Okay, rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. The OG's spitting right now. He said we don't got it. We don't got the firepower. I think that's got to be down for a nominee of the call tonight. Al from Jersey. What do you guys think? TM, what do you think, man? We'll get the poll ready. Al from Jersey. Al, appreciate the call, man. Thanks for getting us back on the rails. Thank you. Thank you. All right, man. That was Al from Jersey. So we got 3.
He had some points.
He had some points.
I think the one area I'll push back is that we have seen this team pass much better this season at instances, but there are times where they just do revert back to that isolation basketball like we saw tonight. So, I'll push back saying it has been better, but the thing is, we have to see it better against the better teams. That's the thing, right? Like, we've seen it against the Raptors, the Wizards, the Hornets. Got to do it against the Celtics. Got to do it against the Bucks.
Yeah.
That's where it needs to happen.
You see nights like this, and when this team is overall not a good passing team, not a good assist team, not good at ball movement. So my sleeper pick is formidable. Just think about it.
Your sleeper pick.
You see Halliburton running and gutting, swishing and dishing out in Vegas, all over the place. Think about it. There may come a time where you want Brunson a little bit more off ball and get a playmaker next to him.
Yeah.
A better playmaker. That's why people are asking for Quickly in that starting lineup. Problem is you put Quickly in the starting lineup, now your whole bench is messed up.
You know what's crazy, CP? While I was writing that Grimes article for today, I was doing some research. Do you know what team has what lineup is in the 99th percentile in differential according to Cleaning the Glass?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the lineup. Jalen Brunson, Emmanuel Quickly, Josh Hart, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson.
Wow.
Granted, there's only been very few possessions, 120. Yeah. It's very small,
yeah.
But they're plus 30 differential. They're in the 95th percentile when it comes to points per possession. 89th percentile when it comes to defending and points per possession. They're just a really good lineup, and I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that more. I just stumbled upon that lineup today. I'm like, I need to see more of that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So to our franchise channel members in the chat. Also, if you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new. We will shout you guys out. Knicks lose 133-123. Al, how'd you do on Underdog tonight? Did you play Underdog tonight? How'd you do tonight?
Why are you always asking me this question, CP? Why? Why can't you let me live, man?
Just check it, man.
Why
did submit the ticket. I did see
why
a pick.
Why can't you let me live and just go
I did
into
see
the
a
night
pick.
peacefully?
Well, you've been riding the hot hand. You've been riding the hot hand, man. But
on the other show,
yes, on the other show. On the other show. Yeah.
Okay.
I did see a pick on the Underdog sheet.
Report.
I did see a pick on the Underdog sheet that I didn't like. You should have consulted with me first before you made that pick. Why did you go with that Porzingis pick, man? I didn't like that pick.
I thought he was coming back off an injury, man. I'm like, is he going to be doing how's all this thing? Like, sometimes you got to think like
Porzingis. Go ahead. Run off your sheet.
Right. You set me up for this. This is what you like to do. I can't with you sometimes, man. I can't. Why you got to kick me while I'm down? All right, here we go. Here's my terrible sheet for tonight.
Yeah.
I got right on Isaiah Hartenstein. I did not expect this.
Yeah, he was a rebound
more than
machine,
4.5 rebounds. He got 12 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I was right on Emmanuel quickly for higher than 11.5 points. Hit on that.
Mm-hmm.
Rand, who's been good with assists, decided to not do that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So did not get higher than 5 assists. Only had 3. I thought Tatum was going to go over 25 points against this team. I really did. He went under.
Tatum.
Sorry, I thought he was going to have 27. I thought he was going to have more than 27. Okay. He had 25.
He got off to a slow start.
Yeah. Kristaps Porzingis. I took the lower of 2. He hit 3. I was like, it's usually paced throughout the game. He hit 2 in the first. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. So, yeah. I don't know. Thanks for bringing it up, though. I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, the way Mitch defends him or the lack thereof, I would have given the benefit of the doubt with that one.
Even coming back from injury?
Yeah, I would have picked that one. Yeah.
Well, support our sponsors. Make sure to use that promo code KFTV for up to a $100 match.
Underdog Fantasy. Shout out to our guys at Underdog. I spoke to my guy today. We're gonna do another ticket giveaway with Underdog at some point this season for you people that are trying to get to MSG. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna get that cooking. We are going to get that cooking. Let's get those likes up. So to everybody in the chat. We have any hashtag news in here? Or we just got angry Knicks fans. Okay. Let's go back to our phone roulette here. And see who wants to play. Area code 469. What's your name? Where you calling in from?
It's me.
What?
It's Michael White.
Michael White. There you go.
Yeah. I hear you defending Thibs.
Yeah.
I don't know why, man. I don't know why you do it.
Look,
Alex,
wait a second. Did the guy not give you what you wanted tonight? How many Knicks fans would call this show? We gotta sit Grimes. We gotta put Grimes on the bench. Start Dante. Your coach came through after 20 games and said, "I'm gonna give the people what they want," and it's still not good enough.
Grimes' fault. I always thought it was Thibs' fault that Grimes just went backwards. He averaged 11 points last year.
Yeah.
Now he's averaging 5.
How'd he do tonight?
Because you have 3 people.
How bad did Thibs do him tonight?
Each. He did great tonight coming off the bench.
Right.
Because he was in a lineup where they would pass him the ball. He had 1 shot the other night. 1 shot. Dude, there's a problem. Another thing, the size at wing. We did that to ourselves. We actually have a wing. Actually, if you brought up Jacob and let him play 3 and 4, just play defense, then we would have some size in the wing. If we made a trade for maybe Levine, we would have size in the wing. Until we do something different, nothing's going to change.
Okay. Appreciate the call, man. Call back anytime.
Let me tell
Oh, hang on. I did cut off. Go ahead. By the way,
I now am in. I came out of retirement, and I do network. I work for a network, and I sell ads. So I just thought I'd tell you that.
Okay. Are you buying ads?
Shopping.
Are you buying ads? Are you looking to place an ad on KnicksFanTV?
You know what? I might place an ad on KnicksFanTV.
Okay.
But I would probably want to sell some of your ad people, especially that one that does the health care at home.
BetterHelp.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to steal that one from you.
Okay.
So that's a good one.
No doubt, no doubt. Well,
But God bless you. I
appreciate
love you,
it.
man, and
all love, man. Michael White, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate the call. And as Michael said, man, BetterHelp is a big-time sponsor of our platform, of KnicksFanTV. So to our friends at BetterHelp. And Michael White is right, man. During the holiday times, during the holiday season, it could be a joyous time, but it could be a tough time for some people as well, as people try to, get out of whatever difficult situations that they're going through. Maybe they've fallen out with a family member, or just going through some adversity. But the thing is that, you're not in it alone, and there's a lot of options out there, and there's a lot of places to go get help, and that is with BetterHelp. It is online therapy, and the best thing about BetterHelp is that you can try it. You could switch therapists with no cost and no hassle. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire, brief survey about yourself, and BetterHelp does its best to try to pair you with a therapist that would probably suit you the best. But again, if you don't like that therapist, you can always switch. So try it out. You have nothing to lose. It's online therapy. You don't have to leave your home or commute to a therapist's office. You can try out with online therapy and use our link in the video description. Go to BetterHelp.com. Use promo code KFTV for 10% off your first month. And shout out to Michael White for the alley-oop and saluting our sponsors at BetterHelp. Okay. Now.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
I got to debrief this because this is just way too. Did he just try to do business over the phone? Wait, go on and do a business.
I don't know. He said he has his company, and I don't know. Maybe he wants to do business with BetterHelp. I don't know if he wants to try BetterHelp. But
I thought he was trying to do a deal with KFTV over the airwaves.
I think he was trying to broker a deal. This was like Shark Tank. So this is what we get for Friday Night Knicks, man. I blame Robert Randolph for this. You guys blame Thibs. I blame Robert Randolph.
Wait a minute. Where is he tonight? Where is he tonight?
Exactly. Case closed. Now you get what I'm
Always
talking
showing up when times are good.
Yeah.
You know what's the difference between us and Robert Randolph?
Yeah.
We show up no matter what.
No matter what.
We're always here.
No matter what. What a front runner, man. The Friday Night Knicks guy. What a front runner. What a front runner, man. All right, phone call roulette. We back at it. Phone call roulette. Who wants to get on? 954. Let's go to 954. What's your name? Where you calling in from? Phone call roulette.
CP, it's Ron from Baltimore.
There he is. Let's go.
Hey. We don't move the ball well enough to get in a scoring matchup with the Boston Celtics.
That's true.
Shootout. We don't move the ball well enough.
That's true.
And as much as I love Jalen Brunson, I'm okay with Brunson hogging the ball at times since he's such a great scorer.
Yeah.
But we do have two hogs that hog the ball. Randall hogs the ball. And when Randall does pass it, it's off target. When he throws the pass, a lot of times it's off target, and it's not in the pocket.
Yeah.
So, when Grimes says, I think it's better for the team, I think he's relieved because now he's going to get freedom. The second unit, although IQ does, one assist tonight, so it's not like IQ's passing the ball, but at least in the second unit, Grimes can get freedom, come off screens, handle the ball in the pick and roll to Mitch. At least Grimes can get more shots and feel better about himself. Yeah, I wouldn't want to play with Julius Randle at times, the way the ball sticks. I'm not going to say Randle doesn't move at all times, but he's just too slow. With everything he does, he's too slow. Nobody played defense. I'm not just saying it's just Randle, but I would not have brought Julius Randle back in that game. As bad as they were playing CP and Alex, they cut this to 7 with Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, Josh Hart, R.J. Barrett, and Hartenstein. Why did R.J. Barrett get pulled from the game?
Yeah.
Why? That unit was at least flowing and moving the ball and at least having some trying to at least get out to shooters.
Yeah.
Why take RJ out and bring Randall back in? Why not let Grimes, Quickly, Hart, RJ, and Hartenstein flow and just live with the result? Because that was the only way we cut this thing to 7. Brunson didn't have it either. I wouldn't have brought Brunson back in, but I get that part. But my issue with this is this, CP. We don't pass the ball well enough. Like Grimes look, I'm not. Does Grimes deserve some blame for not being aggressive when he caught it in the starting lineup at times? Yes, of course, CP. I hated it when he threw it right back to Randall. But the reality is, CP, when you're playing with guys that don't get you rhythm and you're getting like 1 or 2 shots, like it's hard to play with him. It's hard. Grimes, I wanted Grimes to be free. I felt relief for the kid because
Yeah.
I understand it's frustrating. So some of the blame is on Grimes, but some of it is on Brunson and Randall. So I want Brunson here. I do think I'm done with Randall.
Appreciate
I'm done
it.
with Randall. We need a star in here that can move the ball, that can get Brunson to play with in the backcourt. I'm done with the slow, the slow, quick decision. The NBA is about quick decisions, CP.
Yeah,
it's about quick decisions
Yeah.
on both ends of the floor, and we're not getting it done right now. I believe in Grimes. I believe in Brunson, but I can't get in shootouts. We got to get back to defending.
Let's go. Ron for both. I think Ron was going for the crown. He wants Caller of the Night. I'm going to nominate him for Caller of the Night. I'm putting Ron up there. So we got Dan from Jersey. Everybody from Jersey. Dan from Jersey, Jay from Jersey, Al from Jersey, TM. Dan from Jersey, Jay from Jersey, Al from Jersey. We got Ron from Baltimore. The Mid-Atlantic trying to take this thing. Somebody's going to win a KFTV gift for being the Caller of the Night. This is what we do every night. We want quality takes, and we reward the people for contributing to the conversation, moving it forward.
He's done with Randall, CP.
Yeah.
Ron is done with Randall.
I'm telling you. Before you know it, maybe even by the end of the season, my sleeper pick is going to gain a lot of prominence and popularity. And popularity.
Wow.
And when the name comes about, remember who told you. Remember who told you.
Nah, you got some inside information right now.
No, I'm not giving you any inside information. I'm not giving you any inside information. I'm giving you a new name who nobody is talking about. Bring it back here when the name comes up.
CP's immaculate offseason right here, everybody. Here we go.
Yeah.
I
don't want to.
It is LaMelo Ball with Kelly Olynyk.
There it is. There it is. All right? So when the name comes about, when LeVar burns the bridge and all the speculation, don't send me any clips. I don't want to hear what Stephen A's got to say. I don't care what Zach Lowe and them got to say. Remember where you heard it first. Because everybody... Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
No, well, what I'm saying is that I think, the ball movement thing, I think is legitimate. You can make a case. Even when you say, like, when they need to get a star player, they need to get a star player. Like, that star player has to make, and this goes without saying, but it has to make the team better. It has to elevate the team. And that's not an easy thing to do. And that's why I go back to a playmaker, a playmaking point guard. It's kind of tough because even backcourt, defensively, him and Brunson would be probably a disaster. It'd be a disaster. But like, I put that in the mold of like, is Jalen's best position on or off ball primarily? Because of the limitations that both he and Julius have as playmakers. That's the only question. It's not to say that LaMelo's the silver bullet. Like, go get LaMelo. All I'm saying is the next upgrade someone who has... No, the next upgrade needs to be someone who also has above average to good to great playmaking ability. You need that. You have to have that.
You know who you were asking for if they were healthy?
Who?
Lonzo.
yeah, right. Right.
Because guess what? He would be a perfect.
Yeah, I gave her in the chat. Says it's Lonzo. Yeah.
That's exactly who you're asking for.
There you go.
That's the ball brother. You know, who everyone's like, oh no, what is this guy that I like, by the way?
Yeah.
Fortunately, got hurt. Anyway, LaMelo Ball, Kelly Olynyk. That's the offseason signings for CP. That's the offseason deals. And here, I'm going to throw on the tinfoil hat for you, CP.
Yeah, let's do it.
Lonzo went to one of the major markets. It was like either LA, Chicago, and there's also New York. Well, LaMelo's not going to go to LA. You got Bron over there. Yeah. I don't think he wants him on the Clippers. Chicago already hasn't done Lonzo right. What's the other major market, man?
There's only not too one major market that LeBron, that LeVar needs to touch on.
Hey, and guess what? He could be on ESPN every weekend. Every week.
Oh, I don't know if they're gonna bring him back. I don't know the whole thing with him. And
I'm just
Molly
saying, look,
Stephen
if
A.
you
Yeah.
wanted to, you have your son there, like they'd be like, let's
For
have
sure. For
LeVar
sure.
Ball back on because we got LaMelo here. I'm
For sure,
man. It's a half-baked idea.
Yeah.
It's a tinfoil hat. No one said it's supposed to be bulletproof. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Last call of the night, man. 470. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, it's Primo from Brooklyn, but I'm calling you from Savannah, CP.
Okay.
Yard man from Jamaica.
Yeah,
And
salute.
I'm
Big up.
also a 62-year-old Knicks fan, so you talk about 50 years of frustration, brother. I have felt every piece.
Sure.
And I got to be honest with you, when it comes down to this whole conversation you've had tonight, because I actually did not watch the whole game. I was working from home. I recorded it. I'm not going to watch it because I want to live to 63, and I'm tired of seeing the same thing every time, every year. This is all. My hubris is directed at the CA Mafia. You want to talk about like a fake bill of goods, okay? And I'm talking to you, Uncle Leon, straight up, man. Worldwide West, step back. I'm tired of you running your mouth, okay? I'm saying to you, this is faulty roster construction from the jump. And that's what we're dealing with. Look, Thibs, I got issue with Thibs.
Now, West doesn't really talk, but I'm going to let this guy go. He feels like he's on a rant, so I'm going to let him go.
Without those quality players that he had on that Bulls team. And I'm tired of like, we don't got enough firepower. Listen, you know what? We're never going to get enough firepower. New York City plays a certain brand of basketball that may not be pretty, but it's usually pretty doggone effective. And, yeah, I was here with the Clyde era. And you know what? Clyde got up in people's shorts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From the baseline to baseline. I see no Anthony Mason on this court. Rest in peace, Mace. You know, we need a wing like that. And yeah, you kind of jumped on the boy about the kid from Toronto, but he's more Mace-like than any player I see right now in the NBA, where he's willing to get in your face. He can handle the ball, and he's actually developing an outside shot like Mace did.
Yeah.
And let's talk development, Alex. I'm telling you right now, bro. That whole deal with you, like talking about development and everything else. It's year 3 for some of these young fellas. All right? You either come into the league a star, or by year 3, you better be walking towards that. Otherwise, fall back role player. And that young boy, Mr. Grimes, I like him. How many years was he in school? How many years was he in Houston and Kansas?
2.
Okay? He's not a young fella. So all that college education and training that now isn't even the standard, he got 3 or 4 years of that. And he's going to come in and you're going to tell me I'm going to give him 3-4 more years? No, my man. You're summertime Grimes. And summertime Grimes is aggressive with the ball, but the minute you put him in there with any of the veterans, he defers. I am tired of seeing dribble handoffs and the immediate spray, quote unquote, a pass laterally for Mr. Grimes. I want to see him get a ball and instead of handing it off, go to the cup. Go to the cup. Show me what you show in summer league. Don't talk to me about development if you don't have a heart for the game. And I ain't seeing the heart on the floor straight up. I am 62 and I ain't got time for the nonsense. I don't know how much longer.
Let him know why you mad.
How long am I supposed to wait, CP?
Let him know, brother.
How long am I supposed to wait? I mean, no, it's silly, man. And Yardman, let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Listen, it is I'm embarrassed that he's got Jamaican roots. I am over waiting for RJ to figure out how to be consistent.
Well, he had a good game tonight. He had a good game tonight.
See him. Listen, man, if I don't care about good nights. I want to see a good season. I want to see efforts on both ends of the court. I am tired of seeing us being hustled. The one time I peeked in the game, and old man, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name for the Celtics. He's been playing for like 40 years. Feel like I've been on the court. Was out hustling young boy RJ.
Al Horford.
I am tired. Man. I am tired of seeing people peeking. If they want to watch the game, let them get a seat in the stands. Get off the court, RJ. The only time he plays with any kind of vigor or any kind of like sense of like, hey, this is my team, I'm gonna play hard and be an example is when Julius is out of the game. The minute Julius checks in, both of them are like peeping like crazy at the off ball, and their man scores, or they're late to a closeout. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. And I need Mr. CA Mafia up there who said he was going to bring a star here. Yeah, okay, Brunson, God bless you. I love watching you, but you're going to get killed, boy, because you're the only one that people are coming at hard, and you're small. We're too doggone small. Roster construction's terrible. And yeah, it's a doggone shame that 3 years in we ain't got a defensive wing that could come in and shut somebody down. I'm even sitting here praying for people like Jamal Crawford. And oh, man, I would kill for Trent Tucker at this point. I just want somebody who plays hard all the time. Is that too much to ask?
No.
You're in for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Is it too much to ask? Is it too much to ask to close out hard on fight over a screen? Yeah, is it too much to ask millionaires? Is it too much? I'm sick of it, CP. I can't help it. I ain't got much of a time left on this earth. I ain't going to wait around forever for them to figure it out. Make a move, Leon. Make a move.
All right.
You're too smart for yourself.
All right, appreciate the call, man. I had to land his plane. He was going in. I had to land his plane for a little bit because he would have been here all night. Yeah, he was really going for the call of the night. Too bad the poll already started and ended because we're going to end the show soon. But he was going for it. I'll give him an honorable mention for sure. He had me hyped, man. I was going back 80s wrestling, man. I was like, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Like, I thought he was about to evoke the spirit of Mean Gene out here. My man dipped in his Macho Man Randy Savage bag. Yeah.
Oh, it's me, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something tonight, CP.
I had to land his plane. He went into like triple overtime, but I was getting motivated. I was getting hyped. It's been one of those nights, man.
Yeah. I see that. You're like, oh, yeah, the Grimes. Oh, yeah, that comment. Whoa. RJ, wait 1 second. Wait a minute.
He said he's looking for a wig, and he's talking about Jamal Crawford. I said, boy. Wow. Hang in there, people, man. It's only 20 games in. We got a long way to go, man. Y'all acting like this. Y'all never going to make it to 82. I've been doing this for 6 years straight on camera. 24 as a regular civilian. Hang in there, man.
As a regular civilian, he says.
Hang in there. Let me tell you something, BG. My man was going in, man. He's going in, boy.
Bro.
Yeah, he could have cut a promo.
I was expecting a whoa.
Yeah, he could have cut a promo. He can cut a promo, man.
He could have given the Ric Flair whoa.
Absolutely. Yeah, he could have definitely cut a promo, man. Absolutely. All right, well, looks like Ron from Baltimore is the caller of the night. So congratulations to Ron from Baltimore. Email us, kftvmedia@gmail.com for your prize. Salute to Dolpho D, franchise channel member as well. Salute to everybody who contributed to Super Chat, everybody who joined the franchise channel memberships. Salute to T, salute to Hasib Mian. And remember that these shows are available in audio podcast format, man. No reason to miss it. Salute to Replay Gang if you did. But you can catch us on all major podcast platforms. Remember to support our sponsors. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com, or you can hit the link in the video description for an instant deposit match of up to $100. Play Underdog Fantasy, Pick'em, and Daily Fantasy. Also, check us out at BetUS, the official sports book of KnicksFanTV, man. Just hit the link in the video description and sign up to get a bonus deposit match of 125%. All right, Al, great show, man. We had a doubleheader today between NBA Report and KnicksFanTV. So before we go delirious and crazy, let's wrap it up and check you on Monday, man. 3 o'clock, NBA Report, in-season tournament recap, and more. We'll see you guys there.